welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Jamie and I am a body positive content creator. Today we are talking about dating as a plus size woman, specifically for me as a plus size black woman. We'll be talking about some of the things that come with dating as a plus size woman. You know, the fetishization, the fatphobia. As a black woman, there's also misogynoir and just outright racism. So, a lot of fun stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, I think it's only appropriate that I share a little bit of my history. I am what they consider a late bloomer. It's a term that I've seen on TikTok. Basically, a late bloomer is someone who, you know, hasn't had any like serious relationships in high school, college, into adulthood. So like I never really dated, I don't know why I say never really. I never dated in high school. I didn't date in college. And my first serious relationship, because I think my friends and family would be like, no, that really wasn't a thing, didn't happen until I was 27, almost 28. And I'm 30 now. So, so my first kind of relationship happened 3 years ago. I would say I am a romantic. I'm not gonna say hopeless romantic because no. But dating can feel pretty hopeless, especially in the 21st century. It kind of sucks. So I think it's also super important to mention the lack of representation when it comes to love in the media, in movies, and in TV. I would be missing a big chunk of what it's like dating as a plus size woman and a plus size black woman without talking about that. I've always loved watching reality TV shows that have to do with love. Why? I don't know, but I have. I hate it. I hate that I love to watch it. So you know, you have Love Island, you have, of course, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette series, you have new things like Love is Blind, there's Married at First Sight, and I am glued to all of those. I decided to move spots, but as I was saying, the media, I feel, plays a huge part in what we as society finds attractive. And I know some people would be like, no, it's a preference. It's just attraction is attraction. Yes and no. The media has a really good way of controlling narratives and therefore infusing into people's minds what is attractive, what is considered dangerous, what is considered healthy, what is considered harmful. Like when you're saturated with those things, it can change your perspective. And even subconsciously, things like your preference and what you like and what you find attractive. So I do kind of blame the media for a lot of, you know, I think when you've never seen, you know, a plus size person or a black woman be sought after as a prospect on movies and TVs, I think that definitely trains people to think that's not what we should want. And it kind of messes you up because then you have to go into society looking for love as people's least favorable, you know, person. And that's hard. I don't like that I'm talking upwards, so I'm gonna change the camera. So growing up, never seeing, you know, yourself be the person that's desired, you grow up feeling like something is wrong with you. That lack of representation, you know, as you're growing up and even now, will make you feel as if you're not worthy of love, is what it really comes down to. Even though that's not the case. You know it's not the case. Well, I don't know, maybe you don't. I know I struggle with it. There are parts of body positivity and self-love and self-acceptance that come so easy to me, you know, wearing what you want, doing things that you thought you should only do when you lose weight, like traveling, things like that. Knowing that you can eat what you want and honor your body. Those things come easier. But when it comes to love and dating, I freak out. I get so scared because I've been taught for so long that I needed to be in a smaller body to find someone. That someone would only love me in a smaller body. That voice is sometimes in the back of my head. Even though I do love myself and my body and who I am, that voice, when it comes to dating, it's the only area that's still, it's there. And it sucks. I know it does. And it's not the truth. And I'm working on it. Season 2 of Love is Blind. I don't know if you've watched that, but for those of you who do, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this season of Love is Blind, at the beginning, you know, they start off with, you know, a handful of women and a handful of men. And there were 2 plus-size women at the beginning of, you know, of the show. And, you know, by like episode 2, they're gone because they didn't find love. Now, mind you, 2 of the women who did end up finding, you know, love or continuing on, were women who used to be bigger and have lost a significant amount of weight. And it was just like, when that narrative came up, I don't even have words, because it was just like that voice in the back of my head was like, see, the 2 plus-size women are gone and could not find love, and the 2 women who lost weight did find love. It was like, oh my gosh, there it is again. Also, there was a person on the show who was very rude about talking about women's sizes and their weight, and I will insert a clip after this so you can just see that very early on that underlying like fatphobic commentary and storyline was there. Okay.
If we were to be at a music festival, do you like being on a guy's shoulders?
Yeah. You're up for the challenge? You can pick me up?
Yeah. But, will I have trouble picking you up?
You know, for me, there was a time when, like, going out with friends was really hard. I was, you know, I was just like the fatter one. Oh my gosh. When that movie, The Duff, came out, I was like, oh, that's what I am. I'm the Duff of my friend group. Which is really sad to think. But that's what it felt like. And so I was never, no one ever came up to me really. And if they did come up to me, if I was ever approached at a bar or club, I automatically assumed 1, they were trying to talk to my friends, or 2, I don't know, they were being a wingman for their friend and they were distracting me from my friends. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let's talk about dating apps. First of all, the whole premise of dating apps is already kind of a wash, in the sense that it literally focuses on what someone looks like. Yeah, there are apps that, you know, make you answer cute little questionnaires and add things that can get to know someone on the inside. Get to know someone's personality, but that's not what it is. People are swiping left and right on what they see. And I mean, there's proof that, you know, Black women are the least, you know, chosen on dating apps. Black women are the least sought after on dating apps. Plus size women are the least sought after on dating apps. And so when you're both, it's hard. It's very hard. So if you're plus size, honestly, if you're anybody really, but plus size women especially, we know that we have to have full body pictures on our dating profile. It's a must, just to get it out there. Like, hey, we're plus size. And I hate that we have to do that, because we should not have to apologize for our body, and we shouldn't have to put a disclaimer or like a caution, but that's what it feels like. But honestly, it's a caution we put out there for us. It's like, hey, I'm plus size, so don't let that surprise you and you say some really rude shit later. I want you to know I'm plus size, so I don't have to face any, rude, fatphobic comments later. That's for sure why it's like, hey. And I'll show you my dating app or my dating profile. I definitely make sure, actually let me pull it up so I can look at it. So I start with, kind of my face, and then literally the next picture is me on the beach. The very next picture is me on the beach, where you can see my body. I always make sure that you can see my body on my dating profile. And yet, I get weird questions. I have been asked a few times how much I weigh, which I thought that was an inappropriate question, but maybe there are some people who just think that's okay to ask, and it's not. Dating apps are just messy. And I think that's something when it comes to being like a plus size black woman. So I get a lot of very hypersexual comments very early, or I'll get comments that are microaggressions, like things that are about my lips or about my hair, about my butt, or just weird things. Of course, there's stuff about my skin, referring to it as chocolate, of course, always happens. Oh God. There's things like being referred to as exotic. It's just really stupid, dumb, questions and comments. No one will ever come at me from a place of, I really want to get to know you and I see potential. They're just in for a good time. That's about it. People love saying things like, oh, you need to put yourself out there. No one wants to just put themselves out there. That's a hard thing to do. And to trust that someone will like and then love you for you, that's a little terrifying. Now, I promise there's some positivity in this video. I promise. You just have to hold on a little longer. It's just hard for me because we just haven't reached that part in my story. And that's okay. I am continuing to cherish, the solitude I still have, and just working on me and loving myself. But I am in a place where I'm ready to have that person. I am ready to have that person in my life, but it's just, where are they? Yeah. When it comes to intimacy and, having sex with someone for the first time, it's scary for anybody. But, when you have hang-ups, it can seem even worse. Like, as someone who, I find myself, I think I'm pretty confident, definitely a ways away from where I was, but that still, I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Because I think you can find yourself beautiful and sexy and all those things, but when it comes to someone else, you're like, I hope they see that too. I hope how I see myself is reflected in how they see me. Or if you're not feeling that great about yourself, you're hoping that person doesn't see how you see yourself. They see you as how you would like to be seen. Does that make sense? I think I have to keep reminding myself that there is someone out there for me, in that I'm enough. I'm okay exactly how I am, and I don't need to change to find that person. I think I need to try to make dating more fun, and I haven't gotten there yet. It's way too like anxiety filled at the moment. But maybe I need to think of it as just like meeting new people, and what happens happens. I really need to just take the pressure off of it, I think, and that'll help. I need a drink. I think I just wanted to vent. I think I just wanted to talk about how frustrating it is to know who you are, to stand in who you are and in your truth, and embracing, every part of yourself, and then having to find someone, and that foundation you thought you built kind of crumbles a little bit. It's a little, it will jolt you a bit, just a little bit. I know people say it all the time, like, oh, you'll find someone for you. Just kind of like, don't go looking, it'll happen when you're not looking. I haven't been looking for a long time, so it's like, well, then when is it gonna happen? I will say, I do spend a lot of time in my house. I should probably venture out a little more. It's been a while since I've been on a date. It's just this never-ending cycle of getting on the apps and feeling hopeful, and then you're faced with all the shit and you're like, I'm deleting it again. And then time passes and you're like, oh, I need to get back on the apps. And it's this cycle. I know if you're currently single and you're on the apps, I know you know what I'm talking about. There's gotta be another way. I don't know what it is. I think that's why I'm excited for, just venturing out more. I want people to invite me to their weddings. Let me see what's out there beyond a phone screen, because I've kind of had enough. Okay. I really don't know how to end this video. I think I could continue talking and just rambling and just end this for hours. I also need to eat, and I think that's why my brain is not functioning as well. I keep looking in the, I'm not even looking in the wrong, I'm looking in the wrong direction. I really want to talk about, the lack of media representation. I feel like that in itself, the lack of media representation on dating shows is so important, and it needs to be rectified quickly. It needs to be fixed on all shows. There needs to be more plus size representation, more Black representation, diversity, disability, LGBT, all of it. I hope you like this. I hope you like this video. If you didn't, thumbs down, and if you did, thumbs up. I say thumbs down first because it's man, I don't even know if I like this video, because there was just a lot, and yeah, there's just a lot. Please subscribe if you haven't already. So I will see you in my next video.